Hey guys, so we have some pretty unexpected news here. We have what appears to be the first unique equipment for a Legends limited character that we've gotten since Legends Fest last year. I actually was starting to believe that maybe they just sort of discontinued doing these, but no, they just took a 10.5 month hiatus in between dropping these. The last unique equipment that we got for a Legends limited character was LF Merge Zamasu during Legends Fest last year. So they have kind of, bided their time when it comes to giving us some more of these. But nice to know that at least this is still an option that's on the table for future reference, right? So let's see what they say here. So unique equipment for a Legends limited character is coming soon. Try to guess which character's equipment it'll be. Find out tomorrow on our official social media. So, of course, this being the sagas from the movies campaign, I think it's, at least a logical line of thinking to assume that this is going to be for some kind of movies-related character. So, let's go ahead and check out the roster of movie characters we have here. Now, I don't really know how they're going to handle this, just because it's been almost a full year since we've gotten one of these. So I don't know if they're going to go back as far as to like LF Blue Gogeta. Right, LF Blue Gogeta is honestly at this point, I think it's safe to say he is kind of overdue for a Zenkai. Him and Broly, both of them are kind of overdue for a Zenkai. So Broly already has his equipment, right? So I don't think he'll get another one. I guess it's possible, right? You can never rule out that possibility. They could just do it if they wanted to. But Gogeta, of course, does not have a unique equipment for himself specifically that only he can use. But the problem with giving this character a unique equipment like this is that this guy is so old that he would kind of face similar problems to whenever we get like the Zenkai unique equipment for characters that are Zenkai Awakened. Like, the reason why the equipment is never good enough for those characters, even though the equipment themselves are really good, like, let's see if we can pull up the list here of equipment, and then we could go and find some of the ones that have released. But the reason why they're not as good, like, for example, I don't know, like this Goku one. Like, look how ridiculous this is. 70% damage, 30% sustained damage cut, 50% to ki recovery. He's healing by 40%. He's getting 70% damage, card draw speed, all these stats. The reason why this is not even close, like this Goku is still super terrible with this equipment. And the reason why is because he can do pretty decent damage with this. Like, I have seen instances where he can do pretty good damage, although it's not nearly good enough. It's just because their kits are so old that they don't have the mechanics to keep up with newer characters. So when it comes to giving old characters equipment, and if you really want to give them like legitimately a chance to be good, like, you can't just be giving them stats here. You can't just be giving them stats here. Slot 3 legitimately has to be like a unique ability. Like, slot 3 on an equipment for a character as old as like Blue Gogeta here. Like, let me just pull up like a newer character. Like, let's pull up Android 8. Like, slot 3 on an equipment would literally have to be like this. Like, this is what slot 3 would have to look like on an equipment. I'm not saying this specific unique ability here, but I'm saying this is the amount of content we would need in a slot 3 of an equipment for a character as old as like Blue Gogeta to really see a lot of use from just getting an equipment and not a Zenkai Awakening. So I don't know if I want a character like Blue Gogeta, given how old he is, to get an equipment. I would rather he just get a Zenkai at this point. He's overdue for one. And, Legends Festival's approaching. I would say that that's a pretty good time and opportunity to give this guy a Zenkai. Maybe they give us a double LF Zenkai, Gogeta and Broly together. That would be pretty cool. This Gohan, I think, is a pretty good candidate for an equipment. I'm a little bit hesitant just because he, of course, was crazy unreleased. He aged extremely well. He's a character that's actually just a very similar character to Orange Piccolo, reviving character that is able to support with his main ability, anti-rising rush, really powerful character offensively after he revives. So a lot of stuff going for this Gohan. Of course, he was one of the best characters in the game, or not just the single best character in the game for a very, very long time. Worked well on the Cancer Hybrid team. Next to Red Zenkai Gohan and Future Gohan. But I mean, this guy, honestly, this is a character that has aged well enough to the point where I actually wouldn't mind if he got an equipment, right? Again, when it comes to like Gogeta, Blue Gogeta here, like, yeah, he needs a Zenkai. But for this Gohan, I mean, this Gohan, I think, could potentially get away with just an equipment. Just because of what his role is on the team. Like, his role as, you know, reviving, supporting, healing character, or whatever he's doing, right? I mean, that's the main usage of what you're going to get out of him, a reviving character. So I would be more okay with Gohan getting a unique equipment than Gogeta here. I should filter by LF only. Okay, so next we have the tag Blue Goku and Vegeta. I could definitely see that happening potentially. I think they're not old enough to the point where they need a Zenkai, right? Of course, Sword of Hope Trunks Zenkai, who came out at the same time as them, so they definitely could get one. I think they are on the table for getting a Zenkai. I mean, this Gogeta's a year older, and this Broly's a year older than they are, but I think it would not be like out of this world to see an equipment drop for this character. I think with the tag mechanic, with a lot of the mechanics they still have access, like their spread of abilities here is not that outdated. They could definitely benefit a lot from an equipment here, so we'll see. But I don't know if I put them super high up on my list here. Okay, so now we're getting into the area where I think it's a bit more likely to see equipment. So for Dragon Fist Goku is a character I could definitely see getting one. I think it's very highly likely he could see one here. Again, he's a character that honestly, if you fill his gauge up and you're able to get that Dragon Fist off with the drop combo tech when you remove the enemy vanishing gauge, like, he could do a lot of damage. He can still one-shot a lot of the game. And especially with this blue Janemba running around, just as ridiculous and oppressive as that character is, like, this would be a really solid option for a character to get a unique equipment, I think, right now. So that'd be pretty interesting. I think the one thing with this Goku to point out in terms of what he would gain from his equipment, let me pull up a past LF character that got a really, really good unique equipment that I think could be structured similarly to this Goku, this Cell. They both have a similar unique gauge, even though they filled their unique gauges in a different way, right? Cell charges to get his unique gauge filled up, whereas Goku has to use cards. These characters both on initial release suffered from the same problem, which is that it was way too hard to get the unique gauge filled up all the way, right? So actually, I don't know why I pulled Cell. I should pull up the equipment that he got. So they actually gave that Cell a unique equipment pretty quickly. And the reason why it was so ridiculously strong, if I could find it, we need a better way to sort through this, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this. The LF Perfect Form Cell equip. I know I'm missing it. Here's Kid Boo's, Bardock's, Broly's is right. Oh, here he is, Cell. That was right in front of me. This is what they did for his slot 3. They just gave him 35% to his unique gauge filled up at the start of the fight. Like, this doesn't look that crazy. Like, when you compare this equip to, like, the Zenkai unique equipment we just looked at for, like, the red Zenkai Goku, this does not look as crazy as that one. Obviously, it's not as good, but when you consider everything he's getting, 20% damage, offenses, 15% HP, a nice spread of defenses, key recovery, and critical. But this is the main reason why I think this equipment allowed the Cell to see a lot more play when he got this equipment, is because he actually had use out of his unique gauge. And I think a very similar result can be expected if we do get a unique equipment for Dragon Fist Goku here that allows him to start with like 35-40% of his unique gauge filled up. I think I even mentioned this in the 1 year later showcase I did for this character a few months ago. I said that, you know, this guy actually could still be pretty good offensively with that one-shot Dragon Fist mechanic, but it just takes way it's not even close. Like, it takes way too long to get his gauge filled up. So if they go ahead and give this guy unique equipment, I definitely could see them going down the same path as the purple Cell and allowing him to start with a portion of his gauge already filled up here. So that's Dragon Fist. I think, again, pretty highly likely he gets one in terms of out of all the options here. Next we have Beast Gohan. I definitely don't anticipate Beast Gohan getting one, just because he's still fairly usable, right? I mean, he's still really good. He can still one-shot characters. I would actually be a little bit disappointed, believe it or not, if Beast Gohan got one, because I really don't think it's time, right? They could wait another 6 months before they give Beast Gohan a unique equipment. So I don't know if this is the right time for it. I don't think it is. And I think there are better characters right now in positions where they would excel in the current meta more than Beast Gohan would. For example, this Goku being green and having a way to actually deal with that Janemba, the blue Ultra Janemba. Red Final Form Cooler. This is my most hated character of all time. But I'll be honest with you. I think there's at least a decent chance that he could potentially get a unique equipment here. I mean, he's only about he's a little bit more than a year old. He's about a year old, right? It's like 13 months old or something like that. This character is probably the worst design character I've ever seen in this game. I think if I had to rank like the worst design characters of all time, he'd probably be at 1. I think I even made a list. I think I made a video about this, like my top 10 most hated characters ever. And I think, yeah, this guy was definitely at 1 because he is my most hated character ever. And I think he is probably the single worst design character in the history of this game. So I would not particularly enjoy if they gave this guy a unique equipment. But I'm not going to tell you there's a low chance he's going to get one. I feel like there's a decent chance he will get one. This character on release was utterly ridiculous. I mean, he countered... This guy releasing was the hardest counter... This is the hardest single counter to a character we've ever seen. I would even say this cooler countered Ultra Super Vegito more than Chilled countered Zenkai Super Saiyan Bardock. I think this was more lopsided, right? You literally touched Vegito with this cooler once and you won the game. It was ridiculous. And then after Cooler, remember, Cooler was a pre-Beast Gohan release. So we know what happened when Beast Gohan released. Every single character that came out prior to Beast Gohan became unusable in the game. That's what Beast Gohan did to the game. So Cooler became unusable in the game after Beast Gohan came out, on top of the fact that he was type disadvantaged to Beast Gohan. So he went from the best character in the game to unusable in like 2 months. So that was cool. The Gammas, no way. I mean, if they give the Gammas a unique equipment, I will dance naked on face cam in my next video. There's no way. Okay. Obviously, they're not going to give one to Kid Goku, of course. I think this is probably my most wanted character to get a unique equipment is Orange Piccolo. Now, I actually just today recorded my God rank grind with Ultra Janemba on regen, and I used Orange Piccolo next to him. This is the single best meta we've ever seen for Orange Piccolo. There has never been a better opportunity for this character to shine than there has been right now. And I remember saying that once regen gets going and Orange Piccolo finds a place on that team, he's going to age pretty well. And yet Orange Piccolo, I mean, how long ago did he release? 3 months ago? It's been over 3 months since he's been out, right? Because we're already it's October 23rd. He came out in the middle of June, right? So it's actually been almost 4 months, or even more than 4 months since he's released. And I feel like he's able to perform exceptionally well on regen. He really is able to hold down the fort, especially when you're going up against enemy Ultra Janembas as well. So if they really wanted to push regen to that next level, which I think regen is easily a top 3 team in the game now, if not just straight up number 1 because of Ultra Janemba's stupidity, this Piccolo getting a unique equipment right now could be that final straw that pushes them to the top. I think Orange Piccolo right now, I mean, he's already really good. So if they really want to give him a unique equipment and push him up to like top 3 in the game or something like that, I could see it. I will make a similar comment to what I've been making about this character pretty much since release, is I don't think this character is even remotely close to being bad. I see a lot of people calling Orange Piccolo bad, but how do you look at this character and what he's doing and call him bad? He's basically just a modern version of Revival Gohan that we talked about earlier. He is a reviving character, right? Revive is super valuable in this meta where no character in the game is able to tank hits from Janemba. There is no character that can tank hits from Janemba. There's 0 characters. Even green character, because we haven't gotten a good green character in like 7 months or whatever. When did Rose come out? Yeah, like March, right? And he's aged out at this point. Reviving character who heals, supports. He has, decent green card generation for your team. Like, this is a really, really powerful addition to regen. He really helps the team a lot. And then once he transforms into orange, like, he's actually pretty good offensively. The one area where he definitely does not do a good job is defensively when he's in the orange form. And honestly, defensively before he transforms too. He's not a very good defensive character. So if I was, looking at this character for a potential unique equipment option, I would probably look at mostly filling him out defensively to where we want him to be defensively. And then, tangentially to that, I'd maybe add a few perks offensively for him. But he doesn't really need a ton of offense because you already have that covered with the rest of the team. The rest of the team is giving this character sorry, the rest of the team is providing most of the offense you would need anyway, to where this character doesn't really need to be doing a ton of damage. But one other thing I wanted to point out real quick is that notice the background on this. Now, the way it's typically worked is for the Zenkai unique equipment, the backgrounds always correspond with the character. That's how it always works. But for this one, this is not a background of a character, I don't believe. But it is very similar. It is very similar to this, which is Orange Piccolo's background. It's very similar, right? It's orange. Maybe. Maybe it could be him. If I had to pick a character to get one, I'd pick Orange Piccolo. That would be my pick. It would. I think my second pick would be Dragon Fist. Just because we actually, like, this is the result. The meta that we're in right now with Ultra Janemba and how ridiculously stupid that character is. One of the main reasons why we're in this position is because they refused to give us a good green character the entire year. Like, Rosé came out, and since Rosé came out, we haven't gotten a very dominant green unit, right? Again, Orange Piccolo was not a bad character, but again, I have said this before, and I will continue to say this, he is not as good as he should have been, right? We look at all the characters that released around Orange Piccolo. Ultra Kid Buu before the anniversary, Goku and Frieza in part 1, the Gammas released at the same time as Piccolo, Ultra Vegito Blue, Purple Cell after the anniversary. Like, you just go through all the major releases surrounding this other major release, new form of like one of the main cast of characters. First time ever we see this form in the game. Like, he needed to be better. He did. Again, he's not a bad character. He's providing a lot to his teams. He's very valuable, but he should have been better. And so I think this is a good time that they can rectify this quote unquote issue. But I mean, the team is already ridiculous, so I don't know if they want to do that, but this would be my pick here. And then I think Dragon Fist would be number 2. Now, there is one more pick that I think people are probably not going to think of because they are not a Sagas from the movies character. Let me just reset this. And that character is going to be... That character is... God, I went way too far down. That character is... Where are they? These guys. The Buu Duo. Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I will admit, I don't know if this would be the smartest pick right now, just because this is obviously a movies celebration, and it doesn't technically fit the theme of a movie celebration. But there are a few things to consider here. So there's 3 points I think I have. Number 1, this character is probably one of the single worst releases of all time. And they're not that old. This character came out in, I think it was March, right? No, but it was either the end of March. No, it was April. Yeah, no, it was April because Kid Buu came out at the end of April, and I believe these guys came out mid-April, I think is how it worked. Let me see. Can I pull up their banners? Like, do they have the banners for these? No, they don't. Let's go here. I believe April, like 15th or 16th or something like that was when they released. Let me see if I could find it. It's not going to be that far down. Where is their banner? But yeah, this is way too far. Here they go. April 12th. So this character came out on April 12th of this year. So we're talking 6 months ago. This is a 6-month-old character that on April 12th was bad. Day 1, they were bad. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. They were not mediocre. They were not okay. They were bad, which is not good. Right? We can't be releasing bad characters, especially right before anniversary, where we go from this character. Think about this. We go from this character to Kid Buu and then to Goku and Frieza. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I get it. This is a new mechanic, the standby / preparation mode ability for Goku to do the Transcendent Kamehameha. They vastly undershot that mechanic. I think they were probably a little bit scared of it and worried about how people would react to it and stuff like that. And then they released it on the Gammas, and the Gammas are just ridiculous. Like, we know how stupid that character is. So, I mean, we got to get this character closer to that power level of the Gammas. Okay, so that's point number 1. They were just way too awful, and you just never see them anywhere at all. Now, that feeds into point number 2, which is they're next up to return on a banner, right? Technically, we should be getting a banner at the end of this month. Again, I don't know if it's going to be a new LF character or it's going to be a Mega Rising. I would imagine the last banner they want to release before Legends Fest would be an LF and not a Mega Rising. But even if it is a Mega Rising, they bring LF characters back on Mega Risings too. This character should be returning at the end of this month on whatever banner we're getting, right? I believe the banner that we're going to be getting at the end of this month will come out literally on the 31st. So whether it's going to be an LF or a Mega Rising, regardless, on the 31st, that should come out. And these guys should be returning on that banner. So it is in their interest to provide us with some way of at least making them good and usable when they come back for the first time. Like, this is not a situation where they want to be releasing the last banner before Legends Fest, and then they bring back this character, and they're awesome. Like, their animations look good. The Transcendent mode looks cool. I think the voice lines are cool. The animations look good. Like, everything about this character is cool. It's just they're bad. They're just bad. So hopefully they do, either give us this equipment now for them or at some point soon, or honestly just Zenkai them. Like, I don't know. This is a really bad situation for this character. But so yeah, point number one, they suck. Point number two, they're coming back before festival, and they need a way to sort of like provide us with a way of getting them to be good again, or like, not even again, but just good, period. And then the third point is he kind of fits into the theme because we have sort of this Fusion Reborn sub-theme going for this movie celebration, right? We got the Zenkai Green Gogeta. Now we got Ultra Janemba. Super Saiyan 3 Goku fought Janemba in both his Fat Janemba form and Super Janemba form. And they can sort of piggyback off of that, I guess, technically, if they want to push it a little bit to give this guy the equipment and sort of say, like, oh, he fits the theme, like kind of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? So, I mean, there are decent reasons for why this character maybe could get one, but I think if I had to go and rank the characters in order of what I would want to see for this equipment, it would be, we're like all over the place here. It would be Orange Piccolo 1, it would be Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku 2, and then I'd probably put this character at number 3. So we'll see what they end up doing. Let me know down below what you guys think of, this unique equipment coming out. What character you think is going to get this? Are you happy that they're going back to doing unique equipments for Legends Limited characters? I would much prefer that they do this instead of giving the Zenkai characters unique equipments. I think these have the potential to be a lot more impactful in the game. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one.